What is up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, and we are covering the top stories of the day. So, over the last few days, the big stories have been revolving around the UK. And in the headlines, it's been about the royal family giving birth to a new baby, which I think having a royal family only due to bloodline is ridiculous. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. The other big story, though, that was happening in the UK that didn't get as much attention, but I think is a lot bigger deal, is that UK citizens are going to find a lot harder time getting their online porn. And it doesn't necessarily just deal around porn. So hear me out. This is dealing with technology and your rights. So there has now been a law passed that does a number of different things. We'll start out with, we'll start out with this. They made it illegal for you to have on your computer or for you to even watch simulated rape. Now, rape is horrible. It's disgusting. I think rapists should be put away for a very long time and may not ever get out. That would be my suggestion. I think it's one of the worst crimes you can commit against another human being. It's torture. So I have a big problem with rape. But as far as simulated rape, you know, there are people, no matter what your beliefs are, who are into dominatrix and taboo things. And if it's consensual, you know, if it's two actors, where does this draw the line? Can you have a movie now that if they simulate rape, are you now breaking the law if you watch that? Or are they breaking the law by creating that? I mean, rape does happen. So if you're talking about a movie and then porn, there's just a lot of blurry lines, I think, with this. But anyway, I'm going to move on from this. That's debatable whether or not you want to block simulated pornography. But they came out and they said that porn is corroding children. And so from now on, all internet providers will have to put a block or a filter on everybody's internet in order to block porn. Now, you can get around this block by calling and opting in to watching porn. Basically, you have to call and say, hey, I want my porn turned on. Now, this causes a couple of different issues for me because, one, the filters that they're putting in place, I mean, is this not something that's already available easily to just about every parent out there already? I mean, if you're waiting for the government to turn on the filters and to do your parenting for you, you've already failed as a parent. So anyway, the thing is, now you're on a list, okay? So you're calling in, you're telling them that you have to be put on a list now to have your porn turned on. So I think if they did anything, you should have to opt in to the filters, not opt out of the filters. So this is my first problem with this. The other thing is if you're on a list, imagine this in a scenario where there's been a sexual crime committed and you look like a suspect. You look like the suspect that they're going after, but you're completely innocent. Well, you're brought in for questioning. What's the thing they're going to do? They're going to pull up the list, right? Well, do you watch porn? Oh, yes. I can see here, sir, that you called in December the 13th on 2013 to say that you wanted to watch porn. So, you know, what other crimes were you committing? You know, they're treating people who watch porn, I think, like criminals a lot of times. Now, this is debatable because some people will come out and say they're not banning anything from you except for simulated rape, but you still have access to this porn, but they're trying to keep it out of the hands of kids. But you know that kids are going to find their way around the filters. I mean, these crimes that are taking place, they happened well before the internet. And people who are sick and demented and going after pictures of like child porn or things that are really horrible that they claim that this is for, those people, you don't think that they know how to use VPN and hide their IP and use all these other different connections and devices in order to sneak past all the filters? I mean, come on. Child porn is already illegal. And don't tell me, because the NSA can watch and read everything you do, don't tell me they can't do some investigative work. If they find child porn on the internet, they go after the people who posted it up. And they already do that. They do that here in the States. I mean, do they have different technology in the UK? Why can't regular police work go through and take care of these sick, demented people? Why does everybody else have to suffer and be placed under a ban and be watched as if you are committing some kind of illegal act? Because watching porn is not illegal. Not in the slightest. It's legal in the UK, and so I think this goes way too far. It's the government again trying to step in, trying to be a nanny state, and really, I think people are more than capable of nannying themselves. And the other thing that they are trying to do is trying to take it a step further and trying to go after Yahoo and Bing and Google and trying to say that it's up to the search engines to do a better job of policing and being able to regulate and restrict and limit the access on the internet. So what they're saying is certain search words or terms that you type in, they don't believe Google or Bing should return any search results at all. They said if you're typing in something that is bad, that they deem bad, then they said they want the search engines to display some type of warning where it says, you know, hey, you may lose your family or your job or all this other stuff. They want to be able to scare users who type in certain search words. And they also said they don't believe that certain search words should even come up and bring up any results. Post below, let me know what you think about this. Do you think it's a bad idea that the UK is now placing a block on every new internet subscriber and that you have to call in order to opt in order to watch porn? Post below, let me know what you think. And also, what do you think about simulated rape? Is that something that should be illegal? Should that be a vision crime for you? If you see that, then you've now committed an illegal act, even though it was two actors who were just acting and role-playing? Post below, let me know what you think about this controversial subject. If you want the latest news and details, stay tuned to VGN, videogamesandnews.com. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.